Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, PenFed Realty, as one lady said, the fancy company. And I am here because I have a TV show, and this lady is here because I got this flyer in the mail one day, and it says that you could safeguard your credit and have a property activity alert. Then I heard on the TV the craziest thing where somebody had just changed the name of the ownership of Joyland.
Yes, yes.
And I thought that would be an excellent topic for my show. So this is Tonya Buckingham, right?
Yes.
And you're
yes.
from the Register of Deeds.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're here to tell us what you do. Because when people close a deal on the settlement statement, there is a charge that says recording deed.
Yes.
And that's what we pay you to do, correct?
Yes,
or
yes.
somebody in your office.
Right,
Not
somebody.
you personally are sitting there scribing it out.
Yeah, well, I have done that, though, but still. We are an official recording office, so we file anything from deeds, mortgages, releases, anything like that. And so our job is to make sure that everything that is filed within those four corners of that document, whether it's signed properly, notarized properly. So there's certain things that we have to look for by state statute, and that's our job. So we're putting things on notice so the public will know that this is filed on your property.
Right.
So that is our main job, is to do that.
Right. So if I want to go sell my property, it has to be in my name or a name or that I'm a party to a trust or a party to a company or an LLC or something. Otherwise, I have no claim to that.
Yeah, the legality of inside the four corners of that document is not anything that we know. Like, we don't know that you are the person that should sign this document.
Right.
We wouldn't know what your corporation is. So our job is mainly to make sure that it is signed, it is notarized properly.
Okay.
Then it goes to the county clerk's office, and they're the department that decides whether or not it transfers from one owner to the next.
Okay.
Because they get other real estate documents that come into their office other than like the deed.
Right.
They might get a court document or
Right.
something like that we don't see.
Right.
So there's a lot of things involved in transferring the property from one owner to the other. Our job is to file the document, so then it moves through the real estate chain, through the clerk's office and down to the treasurer's office and the appraiser's office.
Right.
Which does the notices that you get from the treasurer's office.
And you'll be getting one in the mail soon.
Yes, you will.
December 1st, taxes are due.
Yeah.
Yay. So tell me a little bit about this property activity alert, and then, because we'll start it off with, there is some, for lack of a better term, crazy man.
Yes, yes.
Who is actually incarcerated.
Yes.
And he somehow has the ability to change the ownership of properties, but he doesn't like to come after like just you and me. He likes to go after public properties such as Century 2,
Yes.
the Joyland property,
Yes.
Yes. Or drive-ins or something like that.
Right.
They would get him some notoriety. I guess that's his fun of doing this, is that it gets people all shook up.
Right. And the sad thing is that he got away with it.
Right.
So that's the sad thing. But property activity alert is something that I found out about maybe about a year ago, because I started doing some research with different states, and I realized that property crime is really out there. It wasn't happening in Sedgwick County that I was aware of, and I started working in the Register of Deeds in 2000.
Okay.
But so we had this in place a year before it happened with this guy from Joyland.
Right.
And when he got it filed in our office, we had no idea that this person was doing this. We knew that this was a legal document.
Right.
Not until it got to another department that does the transfer did they kind of find out. But we're actually looking at some kind of legislative change, and we've already spoken to our legislators. But currently, right now, if anything like that happens, you directly should call law enforcement, because it's a crime.
Right.
This prisoner in jail did this crime.
Right.
And so he's in he's in prison for life. So
Right. He's bored.
He probably is like, hey, I'll just create these
Yeah,
documents. and
he's
do this.
bored and just trying to get some
But we need to
notoriety
do
for us.
something.
Right.
And so that's
So what does this do?
okay. Property activity alert is a wonderful thing, because when you sign up, it's really easy. You sign up with just your name, your first name, your last name of how it is filed in our office, and you put your email address in there.
Okay.
And within 24 hours, you will have a notice saying that something is filed on your
Okay.
property.
Okay.
And then in that email, it'll have a link that goes to our website, because our documents are online going back to 1968.
Okay.
And it's a free service.
Okay.
And you can go in and research your documents. So you'll get an email, and it'll have a link, and it'll tell you what the document number is, and you can go in there and go, hey, oh, yeah, because we've had some cases where they're like, someone's called in, and they forgot that they had this deed that their attorney filed, so they forgot about it. So in most cases, it'll be just, a document that was supposed to be filed.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a way to kind of keep track of your, and this is public, because you can go into sedgwickcounty.gov and look at your neighborhood and see, or any neighborhood really, but you can see who owns the house next door and get their name and address, their address, they live next door.
Yeah.
But, what their house value is by the county. And we've had the county guy out and tell us how that all works.
Right.
So,
And that is a free service.
Yes.
To sign up. So, and it's very, very simple. And if you decide I don't want to get this, I don't want to have these notices, you can also call our office, and we can take you off of the notice too.
okay, but why would you
So-
want to really be taken off? How often would you
Well-
get an alert?
Well, let's say, what if you have this very common name?
Joe
maybe
Smith.
Joe Smith, and you might, every Joe Smith document that gets filed, you'll get a notice. So, and it's important that you put your name and not just J. Smith.
Right.
Because you could get Jared, George, all
Right,
those-
Jeffy.
Yeah.
And so, and your middle initial probably as well.
Yeah.
But, when you get that common of a name,
Yeah.
you'll get repeated. But yes, I could see that if somebody was buying repeatedly. So this
Yes.
is yours.
Yes.
Your little brochure, and it
Yes.
says answering your questions. So
Yeah.
what questions do you want me to ask? Let's see. What if I lose my deed?
Well, if you lose your deed and you've already filed it in our office, then you can get a certified copy of
Okay.
the deed, which is the same as the official deed. That's why it's so important to file your documents in here. And also, we have military discharges that are filed in our office.
Okay.
So those are nice for the veteran, and he needs to come in and get some kind of service, and he needs to prove that he's a veteran.
Right.
We file those for free, and we actually give them certified copies for free.
Wow.
Which is really nice.
Well, that went so quickly. We are so out of time. But to get a hold of you, they can call 316-660-9400. And it's Tonya Buckingham with the Register of Deeds. And they are downtown at 525 North Main, Suite 227. And I'll be back next week. But in the meantime, there's Thanksgiving. And I was just telling Cheryl, I really love pie. And I would probably eat an entire pie by myself. So I'll be wearing a jacket that closes next.